Today we're talking with Diana Wallace, Executive Director of the Northville Community Foundation and Maybury Farm. Welcome, Diana.
Thank you very much. We're excited to be here.
And it's your first time here, so it's good to have a new face here.
It is. I'm excited about that.
Good, good. Well, let's just start out, since this is your first time, can you just share with us a little bit with the community about the foundation and Maybury Farm?
Okay, the Northville Community Foundation was founded about 20 years ago. And when the foundation was formed, they did things like the 4th of July parade, we did the annual holiday home tour, and we took over Maybury Farm. Mm-hmm. So during that time, we've gone through a lot of changes, but all for the best, all for the positive. So we're excited from a foundation point of view to be the primary contributor, to Maybury Farm. Yep. It's our intent with the farm to have it be for the community. It's about education, it's about agriculture, it's about teaching our children about gardening. Some of them think you just go to the grocery store and you take a tomato off the table and that's how we get tomatoes. You know, it works for them. But when they come out for camp or they come out for a tour or just coming to visit the farm, they actually get to see those vegetables growing in our garden. Right. So we have what's called a U-Pick garden where the public can come out and pick the vegetables, mm-hmm. and they can take them home and there is no cost. Oh. We just think it's a good way for the kids to learn about gardening. So that's one really important thing. And then naturally the animals.
Right, right. So obviously there's lots of different activities and events that go on. So obviously you just mentioned the U-Pick aspect of it. That's one activity mm-hmm. someone can do coming out to Maybury Farm. What are some of the other types of activities or events that occur out there at Maybury Farm?
Right. Maybury Farm is a nonprofit. So we make money off of events. We don't make money off admission. Our admission is $4 per person, mm-hmm. and under 2 are free. So the money we raise is through special events that we have. And this season's been a little tough because most of our events have been canceled. So our next event, if all goes well, will be August 22nd, and it's called Farm Fest. And we typically do it in the spring because we bring people out to see all the baby animals. We just had all the new births, then we get to see the new animals, and we do things at the event that's all about farming, right, and all the things that go on at the farm. The next big one we have is the corn maze, and the corn maze will start around September 11th, mm-hmm. and it runs weekends, Fridays until 10 o'clock, Saturday till 10, and Sunday until 7. It's amazing how many people want to go out and go through the 10 acres of the corn maze after dark.
Really? Wow.
Yes. There is no light out there, so bring your flashlights when you come. But a couple of years ago, we had a couple of people that actually got lost in the corn maze.
No.
We didn't know they were still out there because we bring the tractor out in the wagon and we announce that they need to come in. They actually called the police to get them to come out to help them get out.
Wow.
And then one of the other big events we have at the farm is called, we used to call it the Great Pumpkin Fest. This year we're calling it the Great Fall Festival. Mm-hmm. The reason being is we really want to showcase all things fall, not just pumpkins, because in the fall we have corn, we have pumpkins, we have all the fruit. We can plan activities around the fall theme more than just pumpkin.
Right.
So the kids get to decorate a pumpkin. They can have face painting done. We hope this year. That's one of those social distancing things we're not sure about yet.
Or a very long paintbrush, perhaps.
Yeah, I keep thinking I can keep them social distanced in line. Yep. I don't know how the face painters are going to do it.
That'd be tough.
Yeah. One of the other events that the foundation actually sponsors is the annual holiday home tour, which is always a big event for us. And at this point, we don't know about the holiday home tour.
Okay.
It depends on, are people going to want to open their houses? We usually have about 1,200 people come through the houses on each day, Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
So it's a lot to ask the public. So we're sort of just sitting back and watching and trying to see what happens, because we don't have to make a decision until August.
Sure.
And then we can put it all together.
Very cool.
Then at the end of the year, we have the Santa visit.
Mhm.
Santa comes to the farm.
Big time of year.
It's big time of the year. He's in the barn, so it's not warm. It's cold, but he's warm. We keep a heater on him to keep him warm.
Good.
And then our guests come out and they get to see the animals, and they get to be with Santa Claus. They get their picture taken. So it's a big day at the farm. So most of our events that we have, we try to stagger them throughout the season, but at this point, it looks like we're going to be August, September, October, November,
Sure.
December, one right on top of the other one once a month.
Yep.
So
But life at the farm
it's
doesn't,
fun for us.
right. But life at the farm doesn't stop there, because obviously the animals are still there. They're still hanging out. They're still eating and doing normal life activities themselves. So I think you also mentioned to me that there were some pretty exciting developments over the last couple of weeks, and perhaps in this upcoming week as well. Can you tell us a little bit about what's been
Yes.
going on at the farm?
We have about 11 species of animals at the farm, anywhere from chickens to draft horses to pigs to goats to sheep. We have a cow. We promote the farm. The farm is what the kids really come to see. And we are open Tuesdays through Sundays from 10 to 5, so that families can come out and enjoy the day, have a picnic. But we're excited because we've had 10 new baby lambs.
Yep.
And we've had 3 baby goats. And on the 25th, Lulu, our big pig, is supposed to give birth to piglets.
Very cool.
So we are really excited about that. And the public is always excited about seeing the baby pigs. They are just so adorable.
I can imagine.
And so
I can imagine.
It's fun. The farm has an acre and a half of new fencing that we put in last year. That was a big deal for us. It was a lot of money that we invested. But when we invested it, we wanted to lay out the farm so that in each pasture, no matter where you're walking, you can see the animals. So if they're at the back of the pasture or at the front of the pasture, it is a hot wired fence. It's low voltage, very low voltage. It's intermittent. So you might touch the white wire and not feel anything. You might touch it. It's like a pinprick.
Yeah.
It's not like electric fencing where you're going to get electrocuted.
Yep.
But that keeps the animals from destroying the fence.
Right. Right.
So
That makes sense.
as you walk around, we have big black gates where we take the animals in and out of. You move them from pasture to pasture. If you come to that black gate, that's where they get fed.
Okay.
They know people are bringing them food there. And if you go there, they will come up to you.
Cool.
So
Very neat.
the only thing that we ask during this time is that with social distancing, once we can open the farm, just be aware of the people that are there before you. Stay back. You'll have an opportunity to touch and learn about the animals. And then the next family can come in. So our walkways through the pastures are very wide. They're 15 feet wide. So we certainly can keep people safe.
Good.
We won't have many of our animals in the barn because, again, that from a social distancing point of view. So the ones that'll be in the barn will probably be the pigs because their pasture is in there. We also have 3 babies, I think 2 sheep and 1 goat, who are being bottle fed. So you'll be able to see that from time to time. And then we are also weaning some of the moms, so because their babies are now going on to hay and grains.
Right.
So we will have them in there from time to time.
Yep.
We also do a goat milking demonstration, and that's in the barn, but we can have that set up so we can social distance the people while they watch that activity.
Yep.
And the other really cool thing we built at the farm is an arena. And in the arena, it was our plan this year is to be very involved with the 4-H program.
Mm-hmm.
and to have kids come to the farm, participate in 4-H, use the arena so that they learn how to do showmanship things
Right.
with their animals. So that's not happening this season
Okay.
because MSU really is not doing any of those kind of activities.
Mm-hmm.
Those were canceled early on.
Sure.
But we can still bring our draft horses out, and we can do demonstrations, and we can walk some of the animals around the farm, so you actually get to engage with the animal outside of a pen. So
Right.
let's say, for an example, we have a pony. We can bring the pony out, or we have a donkey. We can bring them out. We can bring the chickens out, and we can have one of the chickens there for you to learn about the chickens. So
Right.
we're excited about that new type of engagement. So
Mm-hmm.
we want the kids to learn. We want them to be able to touch and feel.
Right. And speaking of engagement too, because obviously people aren't able to get there to the farm right now, but you still have to stay somewhat connected to the community through some virtual connections, haven't you?
Yes, one of the things that we do is that we actually post on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So on social media on Fridays, we always have what's called Fun Fact Friday. And it's about farming. Our farm is a real farm. It's not a petting farm, it's a real farm. So the activities that you will see on Fun Fact Friday is what happens on a real farm.
Mm-hmm.
And some of it, sometimes you may feel as, that's kind of mean, or you shouldn't be doing that. But it's a way of life for farmers and animals on the farm. We don't try to do anything that's going to be cruel to the animal. That's just not our intent. We don't want to do that.
Makes sense.
We find that we have farm camp, and we're still planning on having farm camp this year.
Okay.
And when we do farm camp, the kids actually spend days in the barn, and they learn about food sources and what the animals are used for. Yep. They learn how to muck out the stalls, because that's what a farmer does.
Sign me up. I'm ready to do that.
Okay, we'll sign you up.
Yeah.
They get a chance to feed them. We actually let them groom the animals, but they get to do special snacks with the animals that the regular guests don't get to do.
Right.
So they'll probably even be taught how to milk the goat.
Oh, cool.
Because we have that this year. So our camp is a big thing. It should be starting in the middle of June and running through the middle of August. It's 3 days, Tuesday through Thursday. And once we know for sure, I've been doing a lot of research on the American Camp Association, so we make sure that we're following their guidance.
Sure.
Plus, we'll also follow any guidance from the CDC or even our state governor. We will make sure we're compliant with that.
Makes sense.
Yep. The other things we offer at the farm is it's story time on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So at 11 o'clock on Wednesdays and Thursdays, starting the middle of June, we are optimistic that we have a story, and Farmer Rachel will read a story, bring out one of the animals. They have some sensory play and some things that they do with the kids. It's a big hit. In the past, we usually have about 60 kids and their families at story time. We'll be evaluating that. We're going to need to find out what do we need to do to keep people safe.
Right.
That is going to be a big part of what we do for this year.
Sure.
And then this probably won't happen initially, but we do wagon ride Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
So after you finish with story time, you can buy a ticket to get on the wagon, and Farmer Rachel will go out with the wagon, and they will give the kids an education about what they're seeing on the farm. They'll see the beehives and she'll explain how they make honey. They'll see the cornfield that's been planted, or the soybeans that have been planted, or just the fields and forest area that you will see as you drive back with the tractor and wagon.
Yep.
So that's pretty exciting.
That's cool. Now, if people want to find out about the events and so forth, where would they go? Do you have a website that they could visit?
We have a website. You can go to the Maybury Farm website. We just designed a whole new website, and it looks awesome.
Cool.
You'll see pictures of the babies. You'll see pictures of guests, and maybe you'll even see yourself in one of those pictures. because we want to bring what's happening to the farm to you through our website.
Right.
So it tells you about all the tours, it tells you about all the events, it shows you pictures, it gives you dates, it gives you times, it tells you how you can register.
Yep.
So it's big, and it really tells you a lot about the farm.
Very cool. Now, how can the community get involved with Maybury Farm and support Maybury Farm? Obviously, they can, I'm sure, visit when you do open back up for visiting, but is there anything they can do in the meantime?
Yes, we would love to have help from the community. We're one of many nonprofits in the area, and all of the nonprofits are looking for funds to help continue their causes.
Right.
And there isn't one nonprofit in our area that isn't deserving of your donation. But we need the donations to help us make improvements, bring new things to the farm, feed the animals during the off season, because just because we close at the end of October and don't reopen up basically until early April, those animals still need to eat. They
Right.
still need to be groomed. We still need to have staffing at the farm to care for them. Their care is our primary concern.
Right.
So the safety of our employees, our volunteers, our animals, and our guests is number one at the farm. That's why we did the new fence. That's why we opened it up. That's why we don't let the kids go into the pens anymore, because animals are animals.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a dog or a goat or a chicken, you don't know how they're going to react when a child comes towards them. So for us, it's all about safety.
Yeah, well, terrific. Again, with all the social distancing and animals just in general, obviously always good to think about safety first. So, well, Diana, is there anything else you'd like to share with us today?
We're so excited to have people coming back to the farm. I heard the governor's going to talk tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'm anxious to see if she opens up our area. We are connected to Maybury Park, so we're part of the park land, but you can only get to us through our Maybury Farm entrance, and currently that's closed.
Okay.
But again, we need your help. We need the community. We need them to come back. We need donations. We need you to come and enjoy the events. The events are big fundraisers for us as well. So, we're passionate about the farm.
Right.
It's a great place to be. You've got over 70 acres of green area at the farm. You'll probably only use maybe 4 or 5 of it. Mm-hmm. There are picnic tables, so if you came out for a couple hours, you wanted to bring a picnic lunch, bring your picnic lunch and have it on the picnic table.
Yeah.
Those are all things to do while you're at the farm. Unfortunately, when we open, at least at this point, we have a nice playground area with tractors, wooden tractors, and all kinds of stuff for the kids to play on. But we're hearing initially we probably won't be able to open that.
Okay.
Just because hand sanitizing, washing your hands, all of those things are things people need to be doing. And because we're outside, we just can't disinfect everything.
Right. Unless you hope the ultraviolet rays of the sun kill a virus, but you never know. You never know.
Well,
so
we're counting on that because they say it will.
Yep.
So again, we're going to do everything we can to keep people safe.
Terrific.
That is our goal. But we will need help from the community to do that. Wear your mask, bring gloves, social distance. Those are all the things that we need to do as a community to keep everybody safe.
Right. Terrific. Well, wonderful. Well, Diana, thank you for coming out this evening and sharing us a bit about the foundation and about Maybury Farm. And we'll keep our fingers crossed that here shortly we'll be able to open up and then the people will be able to experience it firsthand like they have in the past and also support the Maybury Farm as well. So thank you so much for coming out this evening.
Good. Thank you for having us. We always like to promote the farm. It's just such an exciting place to be at.
Good. Terrific. Thanks so much.
Thank you.